So there I was, just out of high school, and one of those life-changing moments happened. And it was one of those moments that, when you go through, it's one of the hardest things. But in hindsight, looking back, it was from God, and it brought me to a better place. And it's actually how I became a chiropractor. And so here's the story, in case you're interested. So after my grandpa had passed away, my grandma Dorothy was living with us, and she would do so because my hometown was pretty close to Rochester, and so she would get her doctoring done at Mayo. And so one of these days we brought her into Mayo to see the doctor, and that's when it happened. My mom tells the story this way. She was down the hall, and then she heard this blood-curdling scream, and she knew right away that it was her mom. And she ran into the room to see that there were two male nurses using their full strength to try to contain my tiny 83-year-old grandma. She's writhing in pain. And she's rushed out of the room. And she's brought into emergency surgery. Her life is saved. But what we come to find out is that she had suffered a perforated ulcer. And so what that is it's where the stomach lining wears thin, and because of that, the acid contents of the stomach spills into the guts. It's incredibly painful, and it can be life-threatening. But like I said, her life was saved, thank God. But when we're sitting with the doctor, we ask, how did this happen? And it's his answer is what, it felt like a lightning bolt had struck me. Because there I was pre-med, so I had enough understanding of the human body that this had never really crossed my mind. And this is what he said, that her perforated ulcer was probably from her daily use of ibuprofen and Tylenol to help with her arthritis and back pain. What struck me about that was that I was under the assumption that those things were just helping her. But in reality, they were hurting her. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think medicine is the devil. But at that point, I just decided that for me, going into healthcare, my boundaries was that I'm not going to prescribe any medications. And truth be told, I don't do good with blood and guts and human fluids. So I'm not going to do surgery. I'm not going to do meds. So where does that leave you? It leaves you in physical medicine. And so there was a doctor in my hometown who was well respected, and I shadowed her and just followed her room to room, and it just seemed like she was cracking backs and she was taking x-rays. And what surprised me, though, and what I was most impressed with, was the reports that her patients were giving her, how much better they were feeling. You'd go into her reception area, and she had this wall of testimonials, and it just seemed like these miraculous cases of healing were occurring. Did I mention she was a chiropractor? And so that is what sparked me to pursue chiropractic. Now, starting out, I'll be the first to admit, I didn't know anything about it. And if anything, I was a bit skeptical toward it. So I just told myself, if at any time it didn't seem right or it didn't deliver on the promises it made, I would be done. And so, here I am now in my 10th year of practice as a chiropractor. So, as one of my mentors would say, it boils the rice. It holds true with its word. And so I'm shooting this video up because I think more and more people want to know who their doctor is before they go see it. And I hope this gives you just a little bit of insight of who I am. And if you're interested in coming in, we'd love to have you as a new patient. All you have to do is call or click, and we can get in contact with you.